Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, this is Julie from Law of Attraction Talk Radio. I lost my music today, but that's okay. We'll get it back later. I am so excited about today's show. I just can't even tell you. So let me just go on right now and just say welcome to another Law of Attraction Talk Radio. I'm Julie Johnson from beautiful Southern California.
And I'm Andrew Adler from Fallbrook, California. And tonight I'm trying out to be the next co-host on Julie's Law of Attraction radio show.
Welcome, Andy. Andy is also the founder of the Worldwide Gathering Project, so I thought it was absolutely appropriate to have him on this particular show tonight. We have the most fantastic person with us tonight, and that's Mr. David Wilcock. He is so incredible. You are absolutely going to enjoy this show.
Yeah, I know. I've been studying up on him a little bit, and I'm thrilled to be able to ask him some questions.
Oh, yeah, you and the rest of the world. I have had people from all over the world today sending me emails about how to tune into the show and especially what time. So I had to learn about GMT time today. Many thanks to Elaine Van Devender from Costa del Sol, who sent me a beautiful email and took the time to teach me about the basics of Greenwich Mean Time. I've updated my webpage with the link so that this radio show can reach out to every corner of the world. Everybody will now know the time. And I also want to make sure that people realize that if you can't listen live to the show, you can always go back and download from the archive. You can listen to it at your convenience. Or you can always have access to this. So you can even put it on your iPod if you like. So it's just open for the entire world.
Because we have such a special show tonight, Julie and I will be talking about me and co-hosting the slot on the after show.
Yeah.
So for all you downloaders, keep listening because I want to earn your votes.
Yeah. Great. Well said. That's great, Andy. And anyone who wishes to call in and ask David questions, we will open the phone lines about 10 minutes before the hour. And if David feels that there's still more things he wants to convey to us, then we might forgo the calls altogether. We're going to leave it up to David. But never fear, because we're going to give you information on how you can contact him, definitely. So, Andy, why don't we just bring on Mr. Wilcock right now? Would you please introduce the world's most brilliant person, in my opinion, anyway?
Okay, absolutely. David Wilcock is a professional lecturer, filmmaker, and researcher of ancient civilizations, consciousness science, and new paradigms of matter and energy. His upcoming Hollywood film, Convergence, unveils the proof that all life on Earth is united in the field of consciousness, which affects our minds in fascinating ways. David is also the subject and co-author of the international bestseller, The Reincarnation of Edgar Cayce, which explores the remarkable similarities between David and Edgar, features many of David's most inspiring psychic readings, and reveals documented NASA scientific proof of interplanetary climate change and how it directly impacts our DNA. Welcome, David.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, David, we're so thrilled to have you on here.
Well, it's thanks to my psychic ability that it happened. I had fallen asleep in my recliner, and I got psychically awakened.
When, today?
I had a really late night last night hanging out in Santa Monica with my friends, and I was reading up on some screenwriting stuff, and I just passed out.
Well, I'm glad I sent that message over, huh, Julie?
And then I called you guys up, and you're like, oh, my God, is he going to call? And I managed to call exactly at the right time. I mean, I literally...
On the dot.
I ran into the kitchen, slugged down the super green drink, which should be kicking in about, 5 minutes, and I'll be going really fast. And
it does give you an advantage when you're psychic, huh?
The only reason why I'm here is because I'm psychic, I'm telling you.
Thank God for that.
Well, I appreciate that. I truly do. That's still I have just got tons of questions to ask, and I have got to tell everybody that I have just listened to 3 hours of the most incredible CDs, and that's The Science of Peace. David, I got to tell you, you are an absolute genius. That is so life-changing for me, because it took every piece of the puzzle and put it all together in an understandable form, and it's just like it's just pure clarity for me, and I thoroughly enjoyed every second of it. I've got to tell you. So after listening to that, the piece of science on how we can make all of the world a absolutely fabulous place, and all of the scientific data, how does that fit in with the law of attraction?
Well, that's a good kind of overarching question that we can jump off from. I want to back up just a bit and make a clarification, which is that these were originally intended as CDs. They are only available now in MP3 form, which you can download instantly from the website, divinecosmos.com. Mm-hmm. They are designed, this is another thing that you didn't explicitly say, so I'll just mention it.
Oh, please, yeah.
The recording was actually done in January 2005, and what happened was in February 2005, I delivered a lecture in L.A. At the Science of Mind Church in, I believe it was near Pasadena, and there was a guy there who happened to be a Hollywood film producer and said, you know, if we took everything that you just said in this lecture and turned it into a film, it would be completely amazing. Mm. And that's what led to Convergence, the movie, getting started. So shortly after we finished this project, and I'll explain a little more about the project, we realized that the material that was in the CD series appeared to conflict too strongly with what we were going to do the movie about. So we had to essentially embargo the product for over 2 years. Oh. And it was only because of literally arguing with the lawyers and figuring out that, you know, in the 2 years since this started, that the project has evolved enough now. It's become more of like a Da Vinci Code dramatic thriller in which the information is presented in the context of sort of a mystery narrative, mm-hmm. rather than, you know, a straight-ahead documentary. Only then were we able to actually say, all right, you know, we can release this, which I was very thrilled about. So given the fact that CDs are now just about dead, and it's much more difficult to, you know, do the shipping and so forth, we figure, hey, you know, why not offer everything as a download?
Absolutely.
So anyway, what happened was that I had gotten on Coast to Coast with George Norrie and Art Bell in 2004 on, I guess, 3 shows in a short span of time. One was about Casey, one was about interplanetary climate change, which we're going to discuss as we go on, mm-hmm. and one was, I think I did one by myself that was just kind of an overview show. And, you know, I got a number of people who signed up for psychic readings, which I was doing at that time. And one of them was this guy, Larry Sire, who is he calls me up on the phone in January and says, I've got 9 Grammys. And I was, in my classic Southern way, I was like, well, how many pappies you got?
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, so, yeah, I knew what he was talking about. It shocked me. I said, well, why do you want to work with me? He was asking me if I want to do music with him. And I said, well, of course. So what happened was, you know, I mean, right after I got off the phone with him, I booked an airplane ticket, and I went to his studio in Austin, Texas, which is called Electric Larryland. And I literally... I don't know if I should admit this or not, but you can back me up, Julie, I literally just sat down and delivered 3 lectures of material. I didn't have notes or preparation. I just said what needed to be said.
Well, and, you couldn't tell that. I mean, it was just so perfect. With the music in the background, I got to tell you, it was brilliant.
Well, that's what took so much time. I mean, literally, I got there at night, and then the next day I sat down. We did 3 lectures in a row. Each of which are like 66, 67 minutes long. Mm-hmm. So perfect CD length. And then the whole rest of the time, the real work was that we went in and we composed music behind every little